Hey you guys, welcome back to Yahusha's Glory channel. We're going to pick up chapter 14. This is going to be the fourth part of Deuteronomy, page 187 in your Sefer, or in your Bible, wherever chapter 14 of Deuteronomy picks up. Go ahead and turn to that right now. Ye are the children of Yahuwah Elohim, you shall not cut yourselves, nor make baldness between your eyes for the dead. For you are a holy people unto Yahuwah Elohim, and Yahuwah has chosen you to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth. Now, you shall not eat any abominable thing. And these are the beasts which you shall eat. Here are your clean foods: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the deer, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the pygarg, and the wild ox, and the chamois, and every beast that parts the hoof, and cleaves the cleft into two claws, and choose the cud among the beasts, that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, these you shall not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the cloven hoof, as the camel, and the hare, the coney, for they chew the cud, but divide not the hoof. Therefore they are unclean unto you. And the swine, because it divides the hoof, yet chews not the cud, it is unclean unto you. You shall not eat of their flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. These ye shall eat of all that are in the waters. All that have fins and scales shall you eat. And whatsoever has not fins and scales, you may not eat. It is unclean unto you. Of all the clean birds you shall eat, but these are they of which you shall not eat: the eagle, the ossifrage, and the osprey, and the glede, and the kite, and the vulture after his kind, and every raven after his kind, the owl, the night hawk, the cuckoo, the hawk after his kind, the little owl and the great owl, and the swan and pelican, and gyre eagle and cormorant, the stork and heron after her kind, and the lapwing and the bat are unclean unto you. Every creeping thing that flies is unclean to you. They shall not be eaten. But of all the clean fowls you may eat. You may not eat, you shall not eat of anything that dies of itself. You shall give it to the stranger that is in your gates, that he may eat it, or you may sell it unto an alien, or somebody from away, somebody from far outside your city. For you are a holy people unto Yahuwah Elohim. You shall not seethe a kid in his mother's milk. You shall truly tithe all the increase of your seed that the field brings forth year by year. And you shall eat before Yahuwah Elohim in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, the tithe of your grain, wine, oil, and firstlings of your herds and your flocks, that you may learn to fear Yahuwah Elohim, fear him always. Now, if the way be too long for you, that you are not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from you, which Yahuwah Elohim shall choose to set his name there, when Yahuwah Elohim has blessed you, then shall you turn it into money, and bind up the money in your hand, and shall go unto the place which Yahuwah Elohim shall choose. And you shall bestow that money for whatsoever your soul lusts after, for oxen or sheep, wine or strong drink, whatever your soul lusts or desires. And you shall eat there before Yahuwah Elohim. You shall rejoice, you and your household. And the Levii that is within your gates, you shall not forsake him, for he has no part nor inheritance with you. At the end of 3 years, you shall bring forth all the tithe of your increase the same year, and shall lay it up within your gates. And the Levii, because he has no part nor inheritance with you, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, which are within your gates, they shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that Yahuwah Elohim may bless you in all the work of your hand which you do. And at the end of every 7 years you shall make a release. And this is the manner of the release. Every creditor that lends aught unto his neighbor shall release it. He shall not exact it of his neighbor or of his brother, because it is called Yahuwah's release. Now, of a foreigner you may exact it again, but that which is yours with your brother your hand shall release, save when there shall be no poor among you, for Yahuwah shall greatly bless you in the land which Yahuwah Elohim gives you for an inheritance to possess it. Only if you carefully hearken unto the voice of Yahuwah Elohim to guard to do all these commandments which I command you this day. For Yahuwah Elohim blesses you, as he promised you, and you shall lend unto many nations, but you shall not borrow. And you shall reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over you. If there be among you a poor man of one of your brethren within any of your gates in your land, which Yahuwah Elohim gives you, you shall not harden your heart, nor shut your hand from your poor brother. But you shall open your hand wide unto him, and shall surely lend him sufficient for his need, in that which he wants. Beware that there be not a thought in your wicked heart, saying, the 7th year, the year of release, is at hand, and your eye be evil against your poor brother, and you give him naught, and he cry unto El Yahuwah against you, and it be a sin unto you. You shall surely give him, and your heart shall not be grieved when you give unto him, because that for this thing Yahuwah Elohim shall bless you in all your works, and in all that you have put your hand unto. For the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command you, saying, you shall open your hand wide unto your brother, to your poor, and to your needy in your land. And if your brother, a Hebrew man, an Ivri man, or an Ivri woman, be sold unto you, and serve you 6 years, then in the 7th year you shall let him go free from you. And when you send him out free from you, you shall not let him go away empty. You shall furnish him liberally out of your flock, and out of your floor, and out of your winepress of that wherewith Yahuwah Elohim has blessed you. You shall give that unto him. And you shall remember that you were a bondman in the land of Mitzrayim, and Yahuwah Elohim redeemed you. Therefore I command you this thing today. And it shall be, if he says unto you, I will not go away from you, because he loves you and your house, because he is well with you, then you shall take an awl and thrust it through his ear unto the door, and he shall be your servant forever, and also unto your maidservant you shall do likewise. It shall not seem hard unto you when you send him away free from you, for he has been worth a double hired servant to you in serving you for 6 years. And Yahuwah Elohim shall bless you in all that you do. Now, all the firstling males that come from your herd and your flock you shall sanctify unto Yahuwah Elohim. You shall do no work with the firstling of your bullock, nor shear the firstling of your sheep. You shall eat it before Yahuwah Elohim year by year, in the place which Yahuwah shall choose, you and your household. And if there be any blemish therein, as if it be lame or blind, or have any ill blemish, you shall not sacrifice it unto Yahuwah Elohim. You shall eat it within your gates. The unclean and the clean person shall eat it alike. as the roebuck and as the deer. Only you shall not eat the blood thereof. You shall pour it upon the ground as water. Chapter 16. Guard, you guard the month of Aviv, and keep the Pakak unto you. And keep the Pakak unto you, unto Yahuwah Eloheka. For in the month of Aviv, Yahuwah Eloheka brought you forth out of Mitzrayim by night. Mitzrayim being Egypt, of course. You shall therefore sacrifice the Pakak unto Yahuwah Eloheka of the flock and the herd, in the place which Yahuwah shall choose to place his name there. You shall eat no chametz with it. Now chametz is leaven, no leaven. 7 days you shall eat matzah therewith, even the bread of affliction. And there's a video on how to make unleavened bread. You guys go look it up on the website here, on the YouTube channel. So anyway, you're supposed to eat matzah for 7 days, even the bread of affliction, for you came forth out of the land of Mitzrayim in haste. This is so that you may remember the day when you came forth out of the land of Mitzrayim, all the days of your life, and there shall be no chametz seen with you in all your coast 7 days, neither shall there anything of the flesh which you sacrificed the first day at evening remain all night until the morning. You may not sacrifice the Pakak within any of your gates, which Yahuwah Eloheka gives you, but at the place which Yahuwah Eloheka shall choose to place his name in, there you shall sacrifice the Pakak at evening, at the going down of the sun, at the season that you came forth out of Mitzrayim. And you shall roast and eat it in the place which Yahuwah Eloheka shall choose, and you shall turn in the morning and go into your tents. 6 days you shall eat matzah, and on the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to Yahuwah Eloheka. You shall do no work therein. 7 weeks shall you number unto you. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as you begin to put the sickle to the grain. And you shall keep the feast of Shavuot unto Yahuwah Eloheka with a tribute of a freewill offering of your hand, which you shall give unto Yahuwah Eloheka, according as Yahuwah Eloheka has blessed you. And you shall rejoice before Yahuwah Eloheka, you and your son and daughter, and manservant and maidservant, and the Levii that is within your gates, and the stranger and fatherless and widow that are among you, in the place which Yahuwah Eloheka has chosen to place his name there. And you shall remember that you were a bondman in Mitzrayim, and you shall guard and do these statutes. You shall observe the feast of Kukot 7 days, also called tabernacles. You shall observe the feast of Kukot 7 days, after that you have gathered in your threshing floor and your wine. And you shall rejoice in your feast, you and your son and daughter, and manservant and maidservant, and the Levii, the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are within your gates. 7 days you shall keep a solemn feast unto Yahuwah Eloheka in the place which Yahuwah shall choose, because Yahuwah Eloheka shall bless you in all your increase, and in all the works of your hands. Therefore you shall surely rejoice. 3 times in a year shall all your males appear before Yahuwah Eloheka in the place which he shall choose, in the feast of Matzah, and in the feast of Shavuot, and in the feast of Kukot. And they shall not appear before Yahuwah empty. Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of Yahuwah Eloheka which he has given you. Judges and officers shall you make you in all your gates which Yahuwah Eloheka gives you throughout your tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. You shall not wrest judgment. You shall not wrestle it. You shall not respect persons, neither take a gift, a bribe. For a gift blinds the eyes of the wise, and perverts the words of the righteous. That which is altogether just shall you follow. that you may live and inherit the land which Yahuwah Eloheka gives you. You shall not plant an Asherah pole or any trees near the altar of Yahuwah Eloheka which you shall make. Neither shall you set up any image which Yahuwah Eloheka hates. Chapter 17, you shall not sacrifice unto Yahuwah Eloheka any bullock or sheep wherein is a blemish or an evil favoredness, for that is an abomination unto Yahuwah Eloheka. Now if there be found among you, within any of your gates, which Yahuwah Eloheka gives you, a man or a woman that has wrought wickedness in the sight of Yahuwah Eloheka in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other Elohim, other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun, or the moon, or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded, and it's been told to you, and you have heard it, and inquired diligently, and behold it, if it be true, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then you shall bring forth that man or that woman which have committed that wicked thing unto your gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death. But at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death. The hands of the witnesses shall be the first upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all the people. So you shall put away evil from among you. And if there arise a matter that's too hard for you in judgment, that's between blood and blood, between this plea and that plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within your gates, then you shall arise and get you up into the place which Yahuwah Eloheka shall choose, and you shall come unto the priests, the Levim, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show you the sentence of judgment. And you shall do according to the sentence which they of the place which Yahuwah shall choose shall show you. And you shall guard to do according to all that they inform you, according to the sentence of the Torah which they shall teach you, and according to the judgment which they shall tell you, you shall do. You shall not decline from the sentence which they shall show you, to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that stands to minister there before Yahuwah Eloheka, or unto the judge, even that man shall die, and you shall put away the evil from Yasharal, and all the people shall hear it and fear, and do no more presumptuously. When you are come into the land which Yahuwah Eloheka gives you, and shall possess it, and dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. You shall in any wise set him king over you, whom Yahuwah Eloheka shall choose. One from among your brethren shall you set king over you. You may not set a stranger over you, which is not your brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Mitzrayim, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as Yahuwah has said unto you, you shall henceforth return no more that way. Neither shall he multiply women to himself, that his heart turn not away. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when he sits upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this Torah in a sefer out of that which is before the priests, the Levim, and it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear Yahuwah Eloheu, to guard all the words of this Torah, and these statutes, to do them, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and that he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand nor to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in his kingdom, he and his children, in the midst of Yasharal. Chapter 18. The priests, the Levim, and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part, nor inheritance with Yasharal. They shall eat the offerings of Yahuwah made by fire, and by his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. Yahuwah is their inheritance, Yahuwah Yahusha, as he has said unto them. And this shall be the priest's due from the people, from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it's ox or sheep. They shall give to the priest the shoulder, and the 2 cheeks, and the maw, and the first fruit of the grain and wine, and of your oil, and the first of the fleece of your sheep you shall give him. For Yahuwah Elohika has chosen him out of all your tribes to stand to minister in the name of Yahuwah, him and his sons forever. Now, if a Levii come from any of your gates, out of all Yasharal where he sojourned, and come with all the desire of his mind unto the place which Yahuwah shall choose, then he shall minister in the name of Yahuwah Elohiu, as all his brethren the Levim do, which stand there before Yahuwah. They shall have like portions to eat, besides that which comes of the sale of his patrimony. And when you are come into the land which Yahuwah Elohika gives you, you shall not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that makes his son or daughter pass through the fire, or that uses divination, or one that practices sorcery, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. There will be none of that. For all that do these things are an abomination unto Yahuwah, and because of these abominations Yahuwah Elohika drives them out from before you. You shall be perfect with Yahuwah Elohika, for these nations which you shall possess, they hearkened unto sorcerers and unto diviners. But as for you, Yahuwah Elohika has not suffered you so to do. Yahuwah Elohika will raise up unto you a prophet from the midst of you, of your brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken, according to all that you desired of Yahuwah Elohika in Kurev in the day of the assembly, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of Yahuwah Eloi, neither let me see this great fire any more, that I die not. And then Yahuwah said to me, They have well spoken that which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto you, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass, that whosoever will not hearken unto my words, which he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other Elohim, even that prophet shall die. And if you say in your heart, How shall we know the word which Yahuwah has not spoken? Well, when a prophet speaks in the name of Yahuwah, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which Yahuwah has not spoken. But the prophet has spoken it presumptuously. You shall not be afraid of him. Chapter 19. And when Yahuwah Elohika has cut off the nations whose land Yahuwah Elohika gives you, and you succeed them and dwell in their cities and in their houses, you shall separate 3 cities for you in the midst of the land, which Yahuwah Elohika gives you to possess. You shall prepare a way and divide the coasts of your land, which Yahuwah Elohika gives you to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee thither. And this is the case of the slayer which shall flee thither or there. This is so that he may live. This is pertaining to whoso kills his neighbor ignorantly, who he did not hate in times past, like an accident. And when a man goes into the woods with his neighbor to chop down wood, to hew wood, and his hand fetches a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and then the head slips from the axe helve and lights upon his neighbor that he dies, he shall flee into one of those cities and live. lest the avenger of blood pursue the slayer while his heart is hot, and overtake him, because the way is long, and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, inasmuch as he didn't hate him in times past. Wherefore I command you, saying, you shall separate 3 cities for you. And if Yahuwah Eloheka enlarges your coast, as he sworn unto your fathers to give you all the land which he promised to give your fathers, if ye guard all these commandments, to do them, which I command you this day, to love Yahuwah Eloheka and to walk ever in his ways, then you shall add 3 cities more for you, besides these 3, that innocent blood be not shed in your land, which Yahuwah Eloheka gives you for an inheritance, and so blood be upon you. But if any man hate his neighbor, and lie in wait for him, and rises up against him, and smites him mortally that he dies, and flees into one of these cities, then the elders of his city shall send and fetch him thence there, and deliver him into the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die. Your eye shall not pity him, but you shall put away the guilt of innocent blood from Yasharal, that it may go well with you. You shall not remove your neighbor's landmark, which they of old time have set in your inheritance, which you shall inherit in the land that Yahuwah Eloheka gives you to possess it. 1 witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity, as for any sin, or for any sin, in any sin that he sins. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall that matter be established. If a false witness rise up against any man, to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men, being whom the controversy is, shall stand before Yahuwah, before the priests and the judges which shall be in those days, and the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And behold, if the witness be a false witness, and has testified falsely against his brother, then you shall do unto him as he thought to have done unto his brother, and so shall you put the evil away from among you. And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. And your eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, and tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Chapter 20. When you go out to battle against your enemies, and see horses and chariots, and a people more than you, don't be afraid of them, for Yahuwah Eloheka is with you, which brought you up out of the land of Mitzrayim. And it shall be, when you are come nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak to the people, and shall say to them, Hear, O Yasharal, you approach this day to battle against your enemies. Don't let your hearts faint. Don't fear. Don't tremble. Don't be terrified because of them. For Yahuwah Eloheka is he that goes with you to fight for you against your enemies, to save you. And the officers shall speak to the people, saying, What man is there that has built a new house and has not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he dies in the battle and another man dedicates it. And they'll ask, What man is he that has planted a vineyard and has not eaten of it? Let him also go and return to his house, lest he dies in the battle and another man eats of it. And they'll also ask, What man is there that has betrothed a woman and has not taken her? Let him go and return to his house, lest he dies in the battle and another man take her. And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, What man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return to his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart. And it shall be, when the officers have made an end of speaking to the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. And when you come near or nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. And it shall be, if it make you an answer of peace and opens up unto you, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto you, and they shall serve you. And if it will make no peace with you, but will make war against you, then you shall besiege it. And when Yahuwah has delivered it into your hands, you shall smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword. But the women and the little ones, and the cattle, and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shall you take to yourself, and shall eat the spoil of your enemies, which Yahuwah has given you. And thus you shall do to all the cities which are very far off from you, which are not of the cities of these nations. But of the cities of these people which Yahuwah gives you for an inheritance, you shall save alive nothing that breathes, but you shall utterly destroy them. And here's who they are. Namely, the Chittim, Emirim, Canaanim, Perizim, Shivim, Yevusim, all of them, as Yahuwah has commanded you, that they teach you not to do after all their abominations, which they have done unto their Elohim. So should you sin against Yahuwah. When you besiege a city a long time, in making war against it to take it, you shall not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe into them or against them. For you may eat of them, and you shall not cut down them, for the tree of a field is man's life, to employ them in the siege. In other words, don't cut the fruit trees down that could feed you. Only the trees which you know they be not trees for meat, you shall destroy and cut them down, and you shall build bulwarks against the city that makes war with you, until it be subdued. I'm going to do one more chapter, I think, and then we'll wrap this up, so it doesn't get too terribly long. Chapter 21. If one be found slain in the land which Yahuwah gives you to possess it, lying in the field, and it be not known who has slain him, then your elders and your judges shall come forth, and they shall measure unto the cities which are round about him that is slain. And it shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, or the one that's closest, even the elders of that city shall take a heifer which has not been wrought with, and which has not been drawn in the yoke, has not drawn the yoke. The elders of that city shall bring the heifer to the rough valley, which is neither eared nor sown, and shall strike off the heifer's neck there in the valley. And the priests, the sons of Levi, they shall come near. For them Yahuwah has chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of Yahuwah, and by their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tried. And all the elders of that city that are next unto the slain man shall wash their hands over the heifer that is beheaded in the valley. And they shall answer and say, Our hands have not shed this blood, and neither have our eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Yahuwah, unto your people Yasharal, whom you have redeemed, and lay not innocent blood unto your people of Yasharal's charge. And the blood shall be forgiven them. So you shall put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you, when you shall do that which is right in the sight of Yahuwah. And when you go forth to war against your enemies, and Yahuwah has delivered them into your hands, and you have taken them captive, and see among the captives a beautiful woman, and have a desire unto her that you would have her to be your woman, then you shall bring her home to your house, and she shall shave her head, and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in your house, and bewail her father and her mother for a full month. And after that you shall go in unto her, and be her man, and she shall be your woman. And it shall be, if you have no delight in her, then you shall let her go wherever she will. But you shall not sell her at all for money. You shall not make merchandise of her, because you have humbled her. Now, if a man have two women, one beloved and another hated, and they've both borne him children, both the beloved and the hated. And if the firstborn son be hers that was hated, then it shall be, when he makes his sons to inherit that which he has, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn before the son of the hated, which is indeed the firstborn. But he shall acknowledge the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he has, for he is the beginning of his strength. The right of the firstborn is his. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, and this son will not obey the voice of his father or the voice of his mother, and when they have chastened him, and he still will not hearken unto them, then his father and his mother shall lay a hold on him, and bring him out to the elders of the city, to the gate of his place. And they shall say to the elders of the city, Our stubborn son is very rebellious. He will not obey our voice. He is a glutton. He is a drunkard. And all the men of the city shall stone him with stones, that he die. And so shall you put away evil from among you, and all Yasharal shall hear it and fear. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be put to death, and you hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain all night on the tree, but you shall bury him that day. For he that is hanged is accursed of Elohim. This is so that your land will not be defiled, which Yahuwah Elohim gives you for an inheritance. I'm actually rather enjoying this, so if you'll hang with me, I'm going to do one more chapter. This is good stuff. Chapter 22. You shall not see your brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide yourself from them. You shall in any case bring them again to your brother. If your brother be not nigh unto you, or if you know him not, if you don't know who he is, then you shall bring it to your own house, and it shall be with you until your brother comes seeking for it. Then you can restore it to him then again. In like manner, you shall do this with his ass. You can do it with his raiment, with all lost things of your brothers, which he's lost, and you have found. You shall do likewise. You may not hide yourself. Listen, somebody says finders, keepers, losers, weepers. That is a falsehood. This right here says, no, no, no. You find something, hang on to it until somebody comes looking for it. It's not yours. That's it right there. There's the law of Yahuwah Elohim right there. These are some of those things where he says, if you guard to do what I say, things will be well with you. Don't listen to man. You listen to this book. You shall not see your brother's ass or his ox fall down by the way, and hide yourself from them. You shall surely help him to lift them up again. So if you see somebody's animal in trouble, this is kind of like their car breaks down. You know how we all get out and help people? Well, you help your brother. The woman shall not wear that. The woman shall not wear that which pertains to a man. Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment. For all that do so are abomination unto Yahuwah Elohim. If a bird's nest chance to be before you in the way, in any tree or on the ground, whether they be young ones or eggs, and the dam or the mother sitting upon the young or upon the eggs, you shall not take the dam with the young, but you shall let the dam go, and take the young to you, that it may be well with you, and that you may prolong your days. And when you build a new house, you shall make a battlement for your roof. Those are guardrails. You have to have guardrails on your roof, that you bring not blood upon your house, if any man fall from there. You shall not sow your vineyard with different seeds, or diverse seeds, lest the fruit of your seed which you have sown, and the fruit of your vineyard be defiled. You shall not plow with an ox and an ass together. You shall not wear a garment of diverse sorts, such as woolen and linen together. You shall make fringes upon the four quarters of your vesture, wherewith you cover yourself, And if any man take a woman and go in unto her, and hate her, and give occasions of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid or a virgin. Then the father of the damsel and her mother shall take and bring forth the tokens of the damsel's virginity to the elders of the city in the gate. And the damsel's father shall say to the elders, I gave my daughter to this man to be his woman, and he hates her. And lo, he has given occasions of speech against her, saying, I found your daughter to not be a maid, and yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity. And if you don't know what tokens of the virginity are, look it up. And they shall spread the cloth. It's the bed sheet from the wedding night. They shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city, and the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsel, because he has brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Yasharal, and she shall be his woman. He may not put her away all his days. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the men of her city shall stone her with stones that she die, because she has wrought folly in Yasharal, to play the whore in her father's house. So shall you put away evil from among you. And I'll stop right here for a second just to say praise Yahushua HaMashiach, for without Yahuwah coming down in the flesh, we would certainly all require stoning to death. I don't know anybody who's not guilty of some sin. Praise Yahushua HaMashiach for being our glorious Savior. And I'll continue. If a man be found lying with a woman that's married to a man, then they shall both die, both the man that lays with the woman and the woman. So you shall put away evil from Yasharal. And if a damsel that is a virgin be betrothed to a man, and a man find her in the city, and lie with her, then you shall bring them both out of the gate of that city, and you shall stone them with stones that they die. The damsel, because she didn't cry out, being in the city, and the man, because he has humbled his neighbor's woman. So you shall put away evil from among you. But if a man finds a betrothed woman or damsel in the field, and the man forces her, and lies with her, then the man only that lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel you shall do nothing. There is in the damsel no sin worthy of death. For as when a man rises against his neighbor and slays him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsel cried, but there was no one there to save her. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and he lays hold on her and lies with her, and they be found, then the man that lays with her shall give to the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his woman, because he has humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. A man shall not take his father's woman, nor discover his father's skirt. We'll continue these laws and statutes and commandments in the next video. I want to pray for you guys and just tell you that I'm really proud of you for being here and listening to the end, and having a big hunger for this great, wonderful word is definitely our daily bread. It's a big loaf. It's a filling loaf. If your appetite's not strong enough to make it to the end of each video, just write down the time or hit pause and scroll across and keep trying to keep up. And listen carefully, and just ask Father to explain to you if you don't understand something. He'll give you understanding. The main thing you want to do is keep it simple in your mind, and remember Yahushua HaMashiach is our Savior. There are some terrible laws and terrible ways that we've disobeyed them. I mean, there is terrible, terrible punishment in store for sinners, but Since Father knows that we are all so pathetic and stiff-necked, he sent his only Son. And that's why our sins can be forgiven. So please reach out to Yahushua HaMashiach, get immersed with him, and let's try to be more pleasing before our Father. All right, you guys, have a good day. I'll see you next time.